Sweat Equity Podcast and streaming show, the number one comedy business podcast in the world. Pragmatic entrepreneurial advice with real raw dog talk. I'm your host, Law Smith. Sitting to my right, your left is Eric Redinger. You don't have the sound? Okay.
What sound?
I thought you were going to do a sound for yourself. All right.
Okay. That's for me.
2020's best small medium enterprise business advisory podcast in the United States from Lux Global Excellence Awards, proudly hosted by Lux Life Magazine. You can find us on
Recently nominated for another award, by the way. We'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, we're probably going to win that because we're real raw dog talk here.
Of no lube and stuff.
This ain't LinkedIn saccharine sweet content. This is your real raw dog business dog. iTunes, Apple Podcasts app, Spotify. If you want to give us 5 stars, subscribe, rate, review. Give us write something mean. I don't even care. This episode is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Try ExpressVPN.com/sweat. That's tryExpressVPN.com/sweat. Like Key Sweat, like Montez Sweat. Get you 3 months off of 3 months free off an annual plan. What's ExpressVPN, you say? Virtual private network. Don't be tracked by big data. They're trying to screw you, man. They're out for you. They're tracking you everywhere.
Talk about no lube.
You think incognito works on Chrome? I don't think so. Try ExpressVPN.
You know what you looked at.
.com/sweat gets 3 months free off an annual plan. You want to watch shows in other countries? You can do it. If you want to watch something in Finland, by all means, go do it with tryexpressvpn.com/sweat. Get you 3 months free off an annual plan. Let's get this party started with 3-day rules. Talia Goldman. Howdy, Toddy!
My sweat equity. Sweat equity. Sweat equity. My sweat equity. My sweat equity. Sweat equity. What about my sweat equity?
To do only
I'd like our approximately 5,000 listeners, viewers to know that you scheduled you not being on video ahead of time.
Yeah.
That is a wise move. Like, that is something I've never heard any lady friend of mine do.
Really?
Well, if you said it was a must, then I would have prepared. But
No.
it was,
Let's start over.
Yeah, just get ready.
Blow dry that hair.
Just we'll put this into a makeup tutorial. It'll get more views. Did you know there's chicks doing makeup tutorials on like TikTok? Oh, wait, hold on, there's a new wrinkle.
Hold on.
And YouTube.
Everybody wait for it.
Oh, they're doing it over female stand-up acts. So
Okay.
like Taylor Tomlinson has her stand-up, and they take the audio from that, and then they're doing her act while they're doing makeup tutorials.
Okay.
And getting more views than Taylor.
Well,
Than the person that's...
giving a little bit more entertainment.
God, the lip sync nation, I can't get over it. Sorry. Talia, do we lose you?
Oh, I'm fascinated.
Well, isn't that crazy? Have you experienced in that? All right, so 3-day rule, that's where we send everybody. We're doing we're in the show.
Okay.
So
3-day rule, you have to spell it out. THREEDAYRULE.
Yeah. And
the reason you have to spell it out is because I didn't pay the GoDaddy subscription on number 3.
It's okay.
you should have hired me a long time ago. You didn't know I did this nerd stuff. So the reason I know Talia from way back in LA, when this was I think your first or second year doing it, maybe?
Yes. So I met you so early on.
Yeah, so like what, we talking like 08, 09, something like that?
Okay.
Yeah, probably 2010.
2010. Yeah. Oh, I remember now. All right. So you used to do these parties once a month. These events. This is for bachelor. It was a singles event.
Key parties.
The key parties, right? So 3-day rule. If you want to explain what 3-day rule is, real quick, so I don't have to bumble over it and be like. Blah, blah, blah,
Yes.
blah, blah, blah.
3-day rule is we're a national personalized matchmaking company. So it's just like a friend is setting you up. It's not online dating. We don't have public profiles, but you meet with the matchmaker. We get to know you and what you're looking for, and then we set you up on great dates.
Eric's
Do
getting
me.
excited. Well,
Do me now.
don't get so excited because I'm looking down the cities list. It's always a tertiary city when it comes to these kind of things, these cool things. Boston, Chicago, Dallas, Los Angeles, Orange County, New York, Philadelphia, San Diego,
DC, that's the closest one. I'll drive to DC.
San Francisco, Scottsdale, Silicon Valley, Washington, D.C. Why do you hate the Southeast?
Why do you hate me?
No, we don't. You're welcome to sign up. You just have to date someone in one of our cities.
Why do you hate the Southeast? What did we do to you? We're in Tampa. We just won the Stanley Cup. We're doing great. We just won the fucking Super Bowl, huh?
We didn't.
We were just in the World Series. Those are all sports things, unrelated. I know.
We'll be there soon. We're growing as fast as we can.
Okay, when you get into you dip your toes in Florida, you have to let us know.
Deal.
Because Miami is a lot different than Fort Lauderdale, and a lot of people want to smunch them together. And smunch them. I made it up.
I know.
I'm excited. But South Florida is its own deal. Where Orlando is definitely not Tampa, so don't clump it together. And Jacksonville, God help you, that is Georgia. So,
Gross.
yeah, I just got all like bad girl about it. All right, so we met. Used to do these events. Where you would 3-day rule when it was first starting. I remember one of your first employees was a UF grad. That's all I could remember, right?
Oh, Val.
Yeah,
Val.
right. Val. Okay, and they needed a bachelor of the month. Guess who they got? They were really grasping at straws.
Wow, it was a real startup, huh?
It was a real startup, a real who do you know who's not a total creep,
Right.
in LA, and I forget which.
We got us on the map.
Well, yeah, I'd like to say I was a bachelor founder for the,
Oh,
for
yeah?
the program.
Well, you did good. Married and divorced already. Congrats.
Yeah, see, I could have used their service well before, and I was moving away. It was almost like a total sham. It was like, hey, I'm moving away in 2 months. I'm moving back to Tampa, but
Get this going.
I will gladly be the bachelor for y'all. So tell me about that beginnings where you're digging so low you had to have me as your mascot for a month.
Well, first of all, you're a total catch, so
Boom.
I'm so proud that we had you as a bachelor.
I'm getting blushed. You can't see, but I'm
Now I
blushing.
know why you're on.
Yeah.
So we started the event. I was a television producer. I worked at E! Entertainment. I think we might have met through Carrie Ainsworth.
We did. Carrie Ainsworth going to her birthday party, 30th birthday party in Key West at the end of the month. Yeah.
I love it. So
And by the way, time out. She's done every true Hollywood story on E! She's been involved in almost every one of them.
Wow, she sounds like a devious person.
No, she's just doing her job, bro.
Oh, she's not directly involved with those stories and happenings. She produced them.
No, she didn't. She wasn't Nightcrawler making it happen.
Okay.
She's not Jake Gyllenhaal. She was. She
Well,
just made the stories, but
okay.
I think she was involved in almost every one of those, and that's so crazy. When I met a friend, I'm like, I've watched every one of those.
And she knows AJ what's his face?
Benza?
Yeah.
Maybe, probably.
Okay.
I think that's
Pretty
how you
cool.
and I met. She was showing me around E! one day, I want to say, and we went to watch Joel McHale on The Soup, and I want to say we met that day, or maybe I'm conflating memories.
Yeah, it probably was, right. So when I was at E! I was trying to match everyone. I just loved it. It was something fun that I did, where I would try to match my coworkers and my friends, and I realized I had this weird talent for setting people up. And that's why I started to host the event, so I could bring people together. And they started small. You might have been at the first one. It was at South. We had 20 people. And then the next one was at Bar Lubitsch, and then the Viceroy. And within a few months, we had 600 people coming to the event.
What's the ratio,
And
guy to
really-
girl? I got to know that. Do you remember?
We made it 50-50.
Oh,
We
that's right.
forced it.
No. It's very smart, because if you go on any of the dating apps, because I'm a dork, I'll go read into them, and it's there's 8 guys for every 1 girl on Bumble.
Sure.
Yeah. So everything's a sausage fest. So you guys made it 50-50.
We made it 50-50, and we just had hundreds of people coming, and we realized that there was something missing in the market. The apps weren't around yet. It was pre-apps. It was just sort of Match and eHarmony and the Millionaire Matchmaker, but nothing in between. And so I ended up leaving my job in TV and starting the matchmaking company.
Yeah. Now, how many successful? I'm looking on the site, just kind of perusing. How many weddings have we had out of y'all's system?
At least hundreds. It's so
What?
hard to track years out.
I thought, see, you gave such a pause. I thought it was going to be so low that I was going to have to get you out of that.
It's like I know of like 5 or 6.
Hundreds. Hundreds. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's wow. I didn't know it was that high.
Well, we've been doing this for 10 years and we're nationwide. But
It is their business.
Partially, we'd say partially nationwide here, but yeah, for sure.
you're right. That's fair. Partially nationwide.
Look, the South,
we-
Florida should be all about this next round after you've been divorced. That's your market.
That's a good
The
app,
6-day
dude.
rule, because you got kids involved. It's going to take.
Okay, on that note, what does the 3-day rule mean?
It's from the movie Swingers. It's this old rule that guys used to wait 3 days to call a
Baby,
girl after
baby,
getting
don't,
her.
baby, you can't call her right
Okay.
away. You can't call her, baby, you can't do it.
I got
can't-
you.
Yeah, Vince Vaughn doing a lot of babies.
Yeah, lots of babies in that movie.
And you remember
We
the
don't believe
3
in
men and a baby.
remember the
That's a
most
movie.
painful scene in any movie next to like Saving Private Ryan at the beach in Normandy is Favreau on the phone leaving the voicemail.
Yeah.
Or an answering machine before voicemail.
Yeah.
It's right up there as like Schindler's List. And it is one of the most. It makes me cringe thinking about it. I'm sweating. You know, and it's just
Opening scene of Inglourious Bastards.
yeah. It's like that is one of the most brutal monologue. Like just, it's not you, it's me. He goes all the way in a circle, right?
Yeah.
Well, so hundreds of weddings. That's insane. What's the secret to the sauce? I don't want to give you the lobbed questions you get on shows like The Talk, where you've been on there, or other.
That's cool.
Other big talk
What's
shows.
that out of the top?
Yeah.
Don't say that.
Is my girl Lonnie Love on
I
there
feel like
still?
I got to change my persona.
Yeah. Well, this will be the game. The game within the game is we're going to help Eric get his profile set
Oh,
up.
yeah, let's do me.
How can we get him kind of set up for his best foot forward? But I still want to talk about the entrepreneurial journey first. So let's table that. So 2010, you're really grasping at straws. You need a bachelor. I'm it. And I was like, hey, I'm not really great at small talk, so this is going to be pretty bad for them. Because I get so bored of small talk. I'll be like, what are you doing with your life? Like things like that.
But what's
Probably
that
not-
mean, big picture?
yeah, but I understood like immediately what y'all were doing. You guys were in the territory where, if I'm guessing, the positioning y'all were going for, Match and Plenty of Fish, and a few of those other ones were pretty big at the time, right?
Right.
And so y'all's position was like, hey, how about we actually have a human catering touch, like what a friend would do for you?
Concierge.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right. So there were people that were on the apps that they were having trouble. And so we basically would be outsourcing their love life. They would come to us, tell us what they were looking for. We'd find them what they were looking for, interview them, and just put them on the date. Because the people that we end up working with are busy professionals. And the average online dater spends 12 hours a week online. So it's people who don't want to online date or really don't have the time to do it.
Yeah, I hear that. All right. So
We were like the VIP layer above all the dating apps.
Right. No, I mean that's in a parallel way, because you guys, I wouldn't say y'all are in the dating app world. You might get bucketed there, but yours is different. It's a concierge, like you're saying. It's a valet of sorts. It is
Tailor-made.
right. It's that friend that is trying to help you. So you do have humans behind the scenes trying to actually figure this out, right?
Right,
in the
exactly.
beginning.
Also interpret, so often clients come to us and they say, this is what I'm looking for. We're like, okay, that's not what you mean. This is actually what you mean.
Ooh.
And we'll find them something different. Or like what we find a lot of times is when you're swiping, you're sort of swiping on what's familiar. You're swiping on the same type of person over and over, but actually you could just be swiping right past your soulmate.
I've swiped right on a lot of trans guys, honestly. And I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, sorry, I didn't mean.
My bad.
You guys are getting good because You guys are
spending all your
you guys
money
look
on
more
the-
ladies
the
like ladies.
redos.
I'm like, sorry.
Which one of these packages lets me go back and undo that shit?
By the way, tried this joke on stage. Not a fan. No one's really a fan.
Yeah, I can see
Everyone's
that.
like, but for y'all, it is like there's a fatigue with it, right? That y'all probably, I bet people are coming back to y'all because of that.
Yeah. They're so exhausted by the apps. It like really feels like a job, and it's you swipe on someone, you get all excited, you meet them in person, they look nothing like their pictures, or you're into Trump and they're not into Trump. Like there's so much work where we'll just take care of everything ahead of time, and then your job is to see if there's chemistry.
Is y'all's advice for female profiles? I don't know if it's set up this way, but me and my you may know our friend of the program, Beth Miller, through Carrie. We text each other bad dating profiles all the time. She was just on the show like a couple months ago. We're going over it, and it's like my favorite's the one that's like if you're Trump, swipe left.
Oh yeah, they have all their if this swipe whatever.
Oh, yeah, and then the laundry list of the way men have hurt you before we get to speak is like, who's walking into that? But then
No one.
But they don't
Probably guys that didn't see it coming.
Well, they don't realize guys don't read the profiles. Like,
Oh,
almost
yeah.
every guy does not read.
Did you write something on that shit?
Oh, I didn't see this wall of arms folded.
I
basically.
saw titties.
Yeah. All I saw was carefully crafted photography.
Right.
Where I didn't
Next
know.
to a monolith so that you look small.
Yeah, if you're not for this, swipe left. If you're not for this, swipe left. No abusers, no liars, no like you're like, Jesus Christ, who hurt you? I'm so
No
sorry.
abusers, yeah.
It's so true. I know we always advise no, like do not list. You just project negativity. Who's going to want to go on a date with you?
It is the red flag of all red flags on the guy side. Now on the girls, looking at the guy side, I'd say too thirsty is too eager is always bad in a counterintuitive way. So if you're too like you were so amazing and you're radiant, like a good compliment, I feel like okay, but like I've seen the ones that get sent to Beth and it's like way over the top, and it's like you want to take a shot on us kind of thing. And it's like, oh my God, this is written from a Chinese fortune cookie. What are you doing? What do you say? What do you say to coach up the guys? Because guys are just like, match me with someone. I need to put it in a hole. Something.
Yeah. I know. Well, every other guy photo is they're holding a fish.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good job, dude.
I don't care how big of a fish you caught. It's not a thing. We don't care.
I wanted to do one where I do like the all those so I'm holding a tiny fish.
That would be
girthy but tiny.
Yeah, fat and wide, but very small, like a puffer,
like
fish.
a skull can.
Yeah, or a skull can, either way. But I'm saying, just like me next to hunting, and it's just a stuffed animal bunny.
Instead of a tiger, it's like
family dog.
some other tiny
family
animal.
dog. Yeah. Anything with a puppy, guys think that used to be the good way to do it.
Sure.
But it's got to be your dog. If they find out it's not your dog,
Gotta be your dog.
yeah.
Your shovel. But also they want to show that they're warm and nurturing. They post a photo with someone else's child. That's confusing.
Okay. I've gotten into an argument about this with a bunch of comics. I purposely do not post myself with my kids. Now, I don't like it because I found out guys do this to market themselves as a sweet guy. Now, I figure if the girl wants to ask me questions, this has become my litmus test back to see if they're curious enough, to ask the basic questions. What do you do? Do you have kids? Those kind of things. I find that I've got an argument with comics. They say that's me tricking them to thinking I don't have kids. And I go, well, no, it's me. It became this thing of like, I don't want to market my kids, even though they're adorable.
They should be.
I could leverage them real well.
They could play anything.
Half Asian, man, really plays.
Puerto Rican kid.
Yeah, the cutest button.
Kids look Puerto Rican.
Yeah, when women,
and an Asian kid.
when old women stop us in the street and they're like, "Oh my God, your kids are beautiful," I'm like, "Okay,
Egyptian
you're
kid.
scared."
Boom,
exactly.
All of them.
They were like, they thought I was being like almost entrapment.
Disingenuous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a big matzo ball to leave off the table, right? I mean,
what say you?
I think you should put that you have kids either written or in a photo. You don't have to show their faces. That is fine if they're your children. I think some guys have photos with other children, like they're the uncle.
That's weird.
Music.
That's
But
good.
it's okay.
Women do that too. When they don't have kids, they'll put pictures of kids within there, and you're like,
What guy's like, oh, yeah.
and they say they're a fur mom, and I don't read the fur because I'll read the profiles.
Talk about their dog, their cat.
Yeah, I'm a progressive male. I read the profiles, and so really, I just read.
Except the trans ones.
Well, sometimes you just swipe right when you feel good. Okay. When it feels right. But I'm saying, like, I'll go down.
So reading is a tiebreaker.
Sometimes.
Okay.
But I'm saying that the fur mom, I'm like, if I don't slow down to read it, because you get in this quick fingering my phone mode, like I won't read it. I'll be like, oh, mom, I don't know. That's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot to go full house situation already, Maybe I dug myself all. Let's get back to your.
I think you should
your brand.
let people know you have kids. Just my opinion.
I agree.
And Talia's, yes, she agrees.
And if you don't want to post a photo of them, just write it in the profile.
Here's the spiel. Here's the spiel I give all of them. I heard Neil Brennan talk about this on a podcast. Smartest move I've ever heard in the dating app game. You do a FaceTime with them before you meet with them. And then here's where I give a laundry list. I do the wall thing that the chicks do in the profile, but I do it in a funny way. I'll go, hey, I've got 2 kids. They're 3 and 4. I got them 50% of the time. All good there. Nothing, no craziness you're gonna have to deal with. I work during the day like crazy as like an executive, marketing executive. I do stand up at night. I do this podcast. So a lot of times,
you're lucky to even get a text back from me.
I go, look,
all right?
But never been arrested. Never I don't have a drug problem. Never punched a girl. Never hit a girl. No STDs ever. And vasectomy. Boom.
That is a high bar.
Yeah, I'm in a rarefied air.
I like it. Well, that works. Yours is in a do not list, which is why it works.
I'm sadly giving the rarefied air I'm in by most of those on that list. The STD and the vasectomy are kind of a joke at the end.
Because you do have an STD.
I've never had one. No. Never been tested, though, so who knows?
So you could have all of them. Put that on there.
Ignorant.
Could be a world record holder STD guy.
So I want to know about taking your brand, and this is an idea, and this is kind of what this show's about, is really people who are listening and going, I want to do my own thing, and it's vulnerable, and it's scary, and you have a consistent day job at E, and you take that plunge, right? How do you know when was the right time to do it? When you go, this is an idea, I know I'm made for this. How do you know yourself well enough to go, I know I can do this. I know it's going to be risky at first. And by the way, you're not just the owner, but I believe you found love through your own system, correct?
Yeah, I did matchmake myself. That's true.
Yeah.
Well,
someone did his research.
Matchmaking yourself is.
So you just had first dibs on every guy that came through.
Now it's also like, what do you know?
I matched
You're not in it.
In the wild. I walked into a party and I saw my husband across the way, and I turned to the guy.
Shot him with a
next to
tranquilizer
me.
dart.
Basically,
Right in the neck.
like, bring him over here right now. And my friend brought him over, and I introduced myself and basically orchestrated the whole thing.
So you are a master delegator, I'm finding out, right? Because you had an employee.
Bring him to me.
Right, you had an employee like before you were really even up off the ground. The one I met with Val, and then you can send your friends
Am
to
I
go.
your employee now? Holy shit!
To send your to send your what's it called? You sent a friend out to get him for you. It's very interesting. I'm putting some psychology together.
I'm a big fan of being proactive, and
Okay.
I think that it's helpful for women to do that. And then you can go back to being traditional and let the guy take over if you want, but just get what you want, basically, in business and in love.
Well, that was definitely one thing when I heard about you doing this, and I'm emotionally involved with the brand from afar.
Crying about it all the time.
But I brag about it to Eric like once a month. That was Bachelor of the Month in like September of 2020,
sick of
2010
hearing
or
about
whatever. But it was one of those things where I love the entrepreneurial kind of story, and I love hearing friends do their own thing. And I hadn't yet done my own thing really, except for like a couple stand-up tours we booked. And so I was always interested in how you were doing it. One thing that came in my mind was like, I hope she's able to like find someone, because that's like an old story of like the cobbler's children has no shoes. You know, you can do everything for everybody else, but you can't do it for yourself.
Right.
So it's good to know that you're able to, take your own advice.
Yes, I took my advice, and 10 years ago, I mean, we've been married over 10 years. And
Wow.
the way that I
Wait,
knew,
I'm doing this math here. You really got to work quick.
Yeah.
I was not messing around. But going back to the question before about how did I know when to quit my job, first, I needed to find out if people would pay me. So while I was working at E, I took a handful of clients at night. I would go to a bar or club and I'd find a guy and say, I can see you're trying to pick up those girls. Why don't you pay me and I'll help you? I can do a better job.
I love it.
That's awesome.
I love that.
And so my first client, I remember, he said, well, how much do you charge? And I hadn't even thought about it. So I said, meet me at Starbucks tomorrow. Bring me $250 cash.
He's like, she's a hooker.
He met me.
And he did it.
Val was an attorney, so she drafted an agreement and he signed it. He was my first client. And then the next client, I said, bring me $500 in cash. And every client, I just kept increasing it to see how much people would pay me.
Wow. And so, that's you're like
How horny
a love
are
drug,
you?
yeah, a love drug dealer basically. Do you just go to lawyers' bars and you're like, hey, I'll make this happen. It's one billable hour for you. Come on.
Exactly. How much is it worth to you? So now our pricing starts at $6,000.
Whoa, nice.
Let's do me for free, though.
We'll do Eric's assessment.
As an example for the listeners, how it goes.
So, all right. So you start there.
Anyone can sign up for free. Just FYI, you don't have to be a paying client. You can sign up to be in the free database and be matched with our client.
Okay, I want the $6,000 treatment, though.
Okay, deal.
This is $6,000 worth of exposure. This is the in-kind.
Yeah, I heard him before.
Well, ExpressVPN thinks so. No, I'm saying all right, so you do that guerrilla style kind of making the marketplace, essentially, right?
Right.
How many until you're like, wow, now I'm to the point, when does the cup almost fill to the brim of doing this so much on the side that you're like, when can you make enough to go do it on your own, I guess?
Once I realized that there was the demand that more and more people wanted to hire me, then I ended up quitting my job and doing it full time. And what happened was some of the clients that I matched successfully came to me and said, you changed my life. I love what you do. I want to be a matchmaker. And so my first hires were my clients that I matched successfully, and they became matchmakers.
All guys, I'm sure.
All dudes, right?
Yeah. All women. So I took female clients.
Wait, women were hiring you? I didn't realize that could happen.
Women hired us, and actually today, 60% of our clients are women.
Really?
I was just thinking the ones that wanted to work for you, because I was making the joke because most women are so much better at relationship kind of psychology. I'm setting us up for a real joke here on the other side of that. But I'm saying women are about relationships, right? So it's like you see a bunch of guys talking, you listen to a bunch of guys talking. It's mostly about non-relationship topics. Whereas when I go have brunch,
you just want to stay in the cup, dude. I mean, what
when
do you
I
want to talk about?
When I go brunching with gals and have my gal time, if it's not about relationships of the girls at the table,
You're disappointed.
It's about the ones that are in Us Weekly or something that is something they can all kind of gravitate towards to talk about. This, my friend, is the magic of having two older sisters and just having to sit there and listen.
Magic.
Yeah, or punishment, either way, whatever you want to call it. But that's interesting. So you almost have like a Fight Club kind of magnetism towards what you're doing.
I guess so.
Wow.
I mean, it works. And what typically happens is we'll set up a couple, and then the woman will tell 10 friends, and the men will tell 0 or maybe 1.
Right.
Right. So it's through word of mouth through all the women, and they kept hearing about us and wanting to hire us to find them great guys.
Okay, that makes sense. Ain't no dudes be like, hey, you want to come dilute the pool and bring another dick into this
which honestly
rodeo?
I would say would go both ways a lot of times, but I think women know immediately what they don't want when they meet a guy, right? Is that
women are in general a little bit harder to match actually, because they come to us with a list of 75 things they're looking for. And men usually
Number one, a vagina.
Just be nice to me
you
sometimes.
You figure out the rest.
Yeah. Don't.
Exactly.
My list would be pretty long post-divorce to be like, can you not wake me up because you had a dream about me being mean to you in some kind of... I didn't do it. It was your dream. You made me up. I don't know. Don't fight me.
But you kind of did it, though.
I don't.
You planted that seed.
You never had
at
that
some
when
point.
you were married?
It is your fault.
You never had that when you were married? You get woken up. I just had a dream you were cheating on me. And you're like, what? Hello? Like, nah. Am I awake?
Nah.
Is this real life?
No.
Is this a dream? Am I in Inception?
No. I sleep a lot.
Now your list is longer.
No, it's more determined. I'd say more deterministic. Like
I don't like that adjective.
I know exactly kind of what I want and don't.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Determined sounds aggressive.
I was in marketing brain. I was thinking digital marketing deterministic and not, on stats. I'm thinking like
unstoppable.
No, like I know what.
Can't take no for an answer.
There's needs that they're needs. There's wants that they're wants, and then the rest is kind of like, that's you can't, and you're not going to get everything too. Right? But it's one of those things where going through it, you're like, well, what do I look for in another partner? Could be a guy. I don't know. I wish it was a guy. God, I wish.
You and me, dude, we could kill it.
I know, dude. I'm going to Key West on a gaycation solo.
I'm going too. I'm going.
So you get to the point where you're getting success, and it's, let's say, probably a year or two after you started, right?
Yes, exactly.
Tell us about. I want to hear some of the it doesn't have to be failures necessarily, but again, this show's for people that want to do their own thing, and kind of any advice you can throw into your story of doing this, because I think a lot of people think, like, I still get people hitting me up with app ideas, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna let you sit on that for a week.
Is it in the App Store?
Yeah, does it exist?
There's 9 of them.
Yeah, and you were in a market that existed. It was already kind of saturated then. You didn't even know how saturated it was going to get in one direction, and then, but you also didn't know the market could expand like it did, I'm sure. Where now it's kind of ubiquitous. Like if you're single and not on a dating app or any of the dating sites, kind of like, what are you doing? A little bit. I would say, what's that thing as you're growing that you wish you knew now, like as you're growing your business, your brand?
I mean, one huge thing we learned was that we were the ones that saw something was missing in the market. So actually we were the experts. But what happened, we went through a tech incubator program and we met all these advisors, and they said, it's nice that you're doing this matchmaking company, but the market is saturated. You should stop doing dating and pick something else.
Wow.
And we really respected their opinion, and they were entrepreneurs and advisors. And so that's what we did. We actually shut 3-Day Rule down, and we launched a new company that was really on trend at the time. I don't want to get too in the weeds, but it basically set strangers up together over dinners. And that company that we launched did pretty well. We were selling out every night, but we realized we weren't passionate about it. And so we ended up shutting that down and relaunching 3-Day Rule. And in retrospect, we should have just followed our passion the whole time.
Interesting.
I didn't know that. Yeah. No, that's tough. It's tough. I would say that's like a theme of, like, we've heard some of these kind of similar stories where people, they didn't listen to their gut, and it's really tough to know when to. Because when you get advice from people that are already successful and giving you that advice, it's tough to know if it's your gut or your ego or both.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But Talia you got the benefit of being able to come back, erase that mistake, and still flourish. That's that doesn't happen for everybody.
I know. We blew a whole lot of money in the other company. We learned a lot of lessons. But then from then on out, we decided we're the experts. And we kept going with 3-day rule. And then we went on Shark Tank.
Yep.
Val, I was backstage, super pregnant. I didn't end up going out there at the last minute. I thought I might have a kid on national TV. So Val went out
you want to
her
get
out.
an app launch, dude. That's what you do.
What people don't get is it's actually 10 hours in front of them, I think, right? Or something crazy. Or like, it's a long, they vet you. They really vet you on stage, right?
Yes, you spent over an hour with them.
Oh, wow.
Right.
I mean, even an hour on
It's a
camera
lot.
being grilled, that's a long time, dude. Oof.
So we did that, and we actually didn't get investment from the Sharks, but the night it aired, 10,000 people signed up.
Huh.
And so that really helped us, get up and running. And then a year later, we got investment from Match, and that helped us scale across the country.
Nice. Yeah.
Well, almost.
And so they let you.
I know. I have to stop saying that. You're right. Partially across.
Give me a date.
Yeah. so in Match, I take it's letting you kind of do your own thing. They go, here's this high end sliver that you guys are the experts. Is that what I'm reading into that investment?
It was really just an investment. So
Okay.
we partnered with them for about a year, and then we sort of went back out on our own.
So another lesson, just going like we know what we're doing. So let me ask you this: between the shutdown, rebuild, and then the investment, and then de-investment, do you deal with like kind of this imposter syndrome of thinking like you don't know you're the expert, but now you kind of you got enough? We say knowledge times experience is wisdom. Do you feel like you have that wisdom now?
I do now, but it's taken me so long. And there are still cases where I have imposter syndrome. But now we've been doing this long enough where I do acknowledge we're the experts. When we went to Match to approach them about investment, we had only taken about 40 clients. So we were
Whoa.
pretty new.
That's kind of crazy.
Huh. So yeah, I mean,
But
go ahead.
I think they could tell how passionate we were about it, and we had some really interesting theories around like facial recognition and things that I think they were interested in, and that's why they ended up investing.
So there's some value adds in there that came with the whole package.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right.
So we raised a seed round, we raised a strategic round from Match, and then we raised a VC round, and we were acquired not by Match, by another company in 2019.
Okay. But you know what's great, and the reason we got Friend Match back together is I'm listening to Rogan's podcast on Spotify, and he's doing a read, and he's like 3-day rules.
Whoa, really?
Yeah. Reading
it's
out
awesome.
her story on air
No shit.
for an
I didn't
ad,
know.
and I was
Okay.
like, we haven't talked in a minute, and that's why her and I started talking to have you come on the program for the first time. I want to be respectful for your time because I know you said you're on vacation.
But real quick, the 3-day rule, is that real? Should
No.
we do that real quick?
Don't do that. No rule.
Don't do that. Got it.
Follow the 3-day rule.
Is there a different increment of time instead of day?
I would say it might be a 24-hour rule.
Yeah.
So 3 8-hours.
3 8 hours. Yep.
Got it.
Yep. Well, I mean that 3-day rule. I don't know. The 3-day rule is still pretty powerful. It's like they say when you say no to things, more opportunity comes your way a lot of the time.
Okay, so whatever you say, Talia,
I don't know.
that doesn't
It's
matter.
tough. I'm just saying.
What do you know?
When that 3-day rule was in the zeitgeist, it was before cell phones.
zeitgeist again.
It was before this impulsive kind of 24/7 nature. Now maybe that does make sense to have it 3 times 8 hour rule.
You're welcome
Yeah.
for doing that math.
See, I dovetailed it right back into you.
Thanks.
Do you have any? We have 2 more questions, and then we'll let you go. You're on vacation, and so
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, and so she's making time to do our show, which is not quite Shark Tank viewers, but
Rogan
or mentioned on Rogan or any of that. The 2 questions. One, Eric Eric wants some, if you're setting him up on the site, he's your dummy account. What happens? He signs up as a free account, and then what happens from there?
Website, 3dayrule.com. He signs up. It'll take 2 minutes, and then you'll likely be assigned a matchmaker, and the matchmaker will reach out to you and set up a time to get to know you, and we'll ask questions about you and what you're looking for in a match. And then if we do have a female client that's a match for you, we'll set you up for free, and then you give us feedback after. And
then if Eric doesn't live in that city, but he says he kind of goes to LA every now and again because he's a pilot, let's say, that doesn't count, right? Or
is it bad to lie about being a pilot?
Yes.
Okay.
How do you vet us? How do you vet creeps?
Trailblazer.
We do a lot of Google searches, social media searches,
LinkedIn.
Oh, don't do that.
Yeah. This show will pop up, and that'll ixnay that.
Of incriminating shit on there.
No, but it's worth signing up. You never know. Maybe one of our clients is traveling
and
also.
And the matchmaker. I'm sure we go lead with your best foot. You're on the #1 comedy business podcast in the world.
Yeah. I'll say that.
And you don't have to say the part where you say there's no other ones out there. That's why we're #1.
No, we don't say that part.
We don't have to say that. All right, and then next question, last question is, what advice would you give your 13-year-old self? We asked everybody that comes on for the first time that question, and we love hearing kind of the myriad of different answers we get. What advice would you give your 13-year-old self? You can get in a Bill and Ted telephone booth.
I think she gets it.
I'm vamping because I can't tell.
She gets it.
It's all audio, so I can't tell.
I'm also vamping.
Okay.
But I think she gets it.
Okay.
I don't know. I'd probably just say to be super confident in any of the choices that I made, and to keep asking everybody about their love lives, because ultimately it'll lead to something.
I like it. It's very sweet. I appreciate you coming on. You can get back to your family vacay. Although, family vacay, we might have just saved you.
I feel like this is a vacay from the vacay.
Because you realize vacations aren't that fun when you have kids.
Garage. I don't know what you're doing in the garage.
Yeah. She's been in the garage for like 3 hours. I thought that thing ended 2 hours ago. I appreciate you coming on, and hope to have you back on in bigger, better things.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was so good to see you. And you are a total catch. Don't tell yourself anything.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to just cut that clip and play it for myself all the time. All right, see ya.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye, thanks.